friends, Wayne Brown here, the Ram Man. Wanted to talk to you briefly about correct disc brake swaps on Mopars. This has been an ongoing situation. Very few Mopars came with disc brakes. Very few Mopars came with power brakes. As we all know, my Mopar put an awful lot into the drivetrain and sometimes not much into the brakes, unless you got the disc brake option, and then it was first class. In order to put disc brakes on our older Mopars, our 62 and up A bodies and B bodies in particular, it's long been known since the 70s that the components from the 1973 to 1976 A bodies, if you took those components off from the spindles out, they'll fit on these cars without altering geometry. It's a straight bolt up. There's literally absolutely no problems because it's factory components matched with factory components. These A-body components were very good components. They used the brand new slider type system in 1973. Mopar redesigned their braking system. Sliding caliper system. You have the spindles, you have the caliper adapters, and the calipers themselves ride on these machine waves back and forth. Very simple design, very sturdy design, and extremely effective. As Aaron Berg, the author and engineer, wrote several articles. The old days, we'd run out to the wrecking yard, grab these components, run home, and the next day we had disc brakes. Well, those cars aren't available anymore. So basically what we did here is we duplicated the 1976 A-body components. The reason we chose 1976 is because that year they went from the smaller piston, the 2.6, to the standard size piston, the 2.75 inch piston, and these pistons had been used on the other cars in the C bodies since 1969. So everything's being equal. These have a little bit, the 76 calipers obviously have slightly more clamping force. This system, as designed, came with 11-inch rotors. What we see here, tens of millions of them have been made. You can go to any auto parts store on the planet Earth, walk in there and tell them that you have a 1976 Duster, and they'll give you a screen of rotors to pick from, whether you want really cheap Prontos, or you can find Ray Vestas or Wagner's at your Napa. It's completely up to you. So once again, what we have here is 1976 A-body components. Our kits are unique. Here at the Ram Man, we've always been big on 100%. I can't stand to get a kit in the mail and something's missing. What you see here is all of the components from the spindles out. Nothing is missing from our kit, all the way down to the pads and all the way down to the hoses. We have two very good sets of directions. This describes some simple things such as packing bearings and various pictures. This group right here is directly from the service manual. As you see, 1976. We wouldn't include this from the service manual unless the pictures match the parts. There are a couple of upgrades that we can do with this kit that expands its possibilities. On the sliding caliper system, in 1976, Mopar went to a larger rotor. On some cars, 11.75 rotor. Even though the diameter is a slight increase over the 11, of course it is on the outside, and the mass of the rotor, the actual weight of the rotor, is almost 50% more than this unit right here. Therefore, it's able to suck up a whole lot more heat much more rapidly. In order to run the big rotors, which has become very popular, all you have to do is exchange one part. You take the standard caliper bracket, set it aside, and you bolt up the large caliper brackets as used on some 76 and up cars. And just by changing one part, that simple, pair of rotors, and voila, you've got big heavy duty brakes on your Mopar in just a couple of hours. This system was designed to run the calipers in front of the spindle. Of course, in 1970, my Mopar went from the calipers mounted in the rear to the calipers mounted in the front. This does pose a slight problem with about 5 to 10% of the cars. Some of the performance B bodies, 66, 67, 68, 69, had those large sway bars in the front. So that causes a problem with mounting calipers in the front. Other people have suggested in the past to switch the spindles from left to right, which that moves the calipers to the rear, so therefore you don't have any interference problems. But you get a real mess with the brake hoses. It turns into a corkscrew looking thing, and it's really, really dangerous unless you make some custom hoses. Other people suggested monkey rigging in the past. Ma Mopar solved this problem. Most people don't know about it. They did design a sliding caliper that is wholly designed to be mounted in the rear of the spindle. So with a slot upgrade, calling us, we talk about your situation, and any complication can be handled with factory parts. I don't know why people go to these other solutions. Once again, factory components. These were used on a lot of cars, starting with ones running 14-inch wheels. Therefore, this disc brake kit can fit on your older Mopar, and if you're running 14-inch Magnum wheels or Rally wheels, you don't have any problems. 14 or 15 inches. That's the problem that you have with some of these aftermarket vendors over the years, these internet stuff. You don't know what you're getting. They tell you right there up front, we don't know if your wheels will fit. I'd be real leery if somebody's selling me something that told me they don't know if it's all going to fit. Here we have right here as an example, engineered components, disc brake kits. Note, the A, B, C, and E body kits are available in 4.5-inch bolt circle, okay, and cannot be used with factory Magnum 500 wheels. That's nice. We move over here to Master Power Brakes, long in the business. Note, requires 15-inch or larger wheels. Some 15-inch wheels will not fit with this application. Wheel fitment is the customer's responsibility. Extremely reassuring. I feel better already. So here we go, my friends. We have these factory components, 1976. A-body dark duster. If for some reason you should ever lose a part, say you lose a pad hold down or a bearing or a caliper, misplace them or lose them, you can go to any auto parts store on the planet Earth and tell them that you have 1976 duster, and you can get replacement components. Of course, rotors are factory rotors. You can walk into any auto parts store on the planet Earth and get a variety of rotors, whether you want to run cheap Prontos or some better Wagners or some Ray Vestas, something with some Cloud or Duralast. You'll be able to look and see what they've got. Typically, standard rotors run from approximately $40 on the low end to about $65 on the high end. High quality rotors, balanced, cut right, in tolerance, no problems, and not junky, cheap internet rotors that basically when you take them out of the box, they're already boat anchors, really. Alright, my friends, disc brake kits come in at approximately about $500. If for everything minus the rotors, you can go to any auto parts store once again and purchase your rotors. No reason to buy cheap internet Chinese rotors and pay shipping on top of that, and you don't know what you're getting. You walk out with your rotors, you know what you've bolted on your car. 2 upgrades, 11.75 rotor system. It's approximately about $150, and of course if you would like to run rear mount calipers for aesthetics, or because you have interference problems with sway bars, that's easily available for approximately $150. Alright my friends, thank you for your time. Hope this was informative. I'm out here to help my Mopar brothers on the web at theramman.com. My email is wayne@theramman.com. Office main line 817-429-0105. Thank you, my friends. God bless America, and hopefully happy Mopar.